Ladies and gentlemen, the boys are back. Welcome to the Strompcast, episode 235. Today is the 24-25 season preview. But before we get into the good stuff, let me introduce you to my co-host. First, got the main man, Danny. How you doing today, man?
Feeling good, bro. Feeling optimistic for the season ahead. First game this weekend is in mine and Richard's motherland hometown, if you will, in Aveiro. So yeah, feeling excited about it. I'm glad to be on for another season with you boys, chatting about the big green and white boys.
Most definitely. And next up, Chris. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I actually can't believe that preseason is over. Preseason, it seems like it gets shorter and shorter every single year.
It's because the season seems like it drags on longer and
And
longer.
also, like, the preseasons kind of mesh together. Like, we're going to be playing this game. Some leagues are still going to be playing preseason for another week or two. Some like Asian tour is still going on for another week or two. It's bizarre, really, and kind of messed up. But yeah, it's showtime, I guess. First official game, the trophy if you win it. All right, don't worry about it. Not a real trophy if you lose it. But
yeah, Max.
I'd like to win it, obviously. I'd like to win it for sure, especially since we're coming off a L to these boys to end the season. Feel like we've slightly improved since that time. At least stayed even. Don't know how things are going to shake out for the rest of August. It's still a long month ahead, even though we are, going to be starting officially. I think a lot can and still will change, but excited for the season, ready to defend this title.
Yeah, that's definitely. And last but not least, of course, Richard. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. It's crazy. There's all these songs about, love and loss, but there's only 1-2 songs about the boys being back. Like, what the fuck? What kind of shit is this? No, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm fired up. And yeah, it seems like preseason just kind of blew by. Maybe just because there's a lot of football going on too. Like,
so they went to Algarve for a week and now it's showtime. Okay.
Yeah, they were in Algarve for two games? Like, there was the year. It was like the Euros ended, and then the next week they were in Algarve. Like, it was crazy. And then there's Olympics going on. It's just it feels like the preseason gets shorter and shorter. We need to make season shorter. It's too much. There's too much football. We need to go back. Streets don't forget when we didn't have all these games, man. But yeah, I'm fired up. We're cautiously optimistic as we usually are with these bands of misfits, but I'm riled up for another season with the boys.
Facts. And you can also follow me there. But most importantly, make sure you follow all things Alvalade on all socials. We've also released a new YouTube video about Jeremiah Sin. Just take that, have a look at that as well. About his injury history is quite interesting. So yeah, feel free to have a look at that as well. But let's just get straight into it. We do love predictions here. We do them all the time. So we're just going to start off with it. We've got some categories to go through, and then we'll take a look at the Twitter, what they think, and some of the media, what they think as well. But we're going to start with just us four. We're going to take it casual. And I'll start off with you, Richard. League position, straight off. What do you think Sporting's league position will be next year?
Putting this on me already. I wish you had gone to someone else first. But I'll take the pressure. I really want to say first.
Say it. It's okay. You can say it. I've come back from the future, and I can confirm it is ours.
I'm gonna be so mad, Matt. I'm gonna be so mad at you in 9 months if you're wrong. If we're wrong. I think we will. I think we might actually call me crazy. We might go back to back with you. I think we finish first. It's gonna be very close. And our second to last game is against Benfica, which very well, if the title's not already,
I feel like the draw is just rigged now. Also,
yeah, facts.
Yeah, that draw's crazy.
Dude, the last 2 games in the last 2 weeks, it's always a big 3 game every time.
Yeah,
as many seasons as I can remember now.
We play Benfica. We play Gil Vicente, Benfica, and then Guimarães to finish off the season. Psycho schedule to end the season. But yeah, I'm gonna cautiously say first place, but it wouldn't shock me if we just miss out and come second.
It would have shocked me if we came fourth. Let me also just put that out there.
I don't think we're going that far. No, the thing is, none of the teams at the top, no one's gotten horribly worse, but no one's gotten crazy better.
Yeah.
The only argument is maybe Benfica's gotten marginally better because
gotten
they
a
made more
striker now.
incoming transfers, but that's about it.
They've gotten a nice striker. I can't
Yeah.
lie. The Plavides guy or whatever his name is.
But yeah, the Greek guy, they're a
Greek
Greek
dude.
guy. We didn't get our
Dude,
Greek
they
guy yet.
just fucking churn through strikers, bro, at a rate.
Oh, it's real.
crazy.
I have never
They bought
before
Marcos
seen-
Leonardo
They're the-
like a few months ago, and they're
Dude.
not going to use him.
Bro,
at all.
they're
If
the
you
like
go
the
back to like
anti-sport
not
thing.
even that, like maybe like since like the last like 6 years, dude, it is
They
insane.
churn.
Yeah.
They're like the anti-sport thing. We sit on like one striker, maybe two for like years.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
no, we gotta get another one. Churn them in. They go
Three a season, and now they
they
all
go
cost
through those
20
guys, like,
million minimum. They're
friggin'
just
kid
like,
goes through shoes.
we're just gonna spend 60 million every year on strikers now.
It's not strikers. It's crazy what they spend on strikers. They go through strikers like a kid goes through shoes. It's unbelievable.
Facts. Yeah, Danny, I'll come to you next. Of course, there is sort of caveat to the back-to-back is that we've lost a lot of big squad players. Coates going, of course, the main man. Paulinho going as well. Locker room leaders, Luis Neto and Adan. There we go.
My God.
Shout out to the GOAT.
All right.
Yeah, a few players leaving, some players coming in. What are your expectations for the league this season?
For the league?
Yeah.
So we're going competition by competition.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
I'm confident. I do believe we'll go back to back. I think since we've mentioned it, I think Coates is going to be a huge miss. I think Paulinho as well, obviously, but I think out of everybody we lost, Coates is going to be the biggest miss. I thought even last season, and obviously many critics behind him as well, and his best days were definitely behind him, but I think defensively he gave us a lot still last season. I think we'll miss him so much on corners. Last season we didn't really have him push up forward a lot, like to be like that striker, but just his ability in the box is just
Which, by the way,
Well
was kind of an insane strategy, and honestly started
Crazy.
because
Yeah.
it started because we had no other strikers.
no striker.
No,
Yeah,
there was
exactly.
it was Spudar and a Hope. That was it. At the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
At one point,
And it
like,
actually worked way more times than it should have, probably. So
Mhm.
never forget.
Never forget, for real. Rest in. I don't want to even say rest in. I'm trying to make something like funny going around with RIP, but I can't make the analogy yet. But nonetheless, I'm still confident. The Bast seems good. Diomande is going to take over the Quatch spot. Inaci's not going. It doesn't seem like we're going to make a big sale. Let me knock on wood. Doesn't seem like it just yet.
Are we? Are we not?
doesn't
Gyökeres
look
is
like
staying. Doesn't
Is he?
First time in a
personally don't
while, we
think
haven't really
so.
made a big, like a noticeable sale.
I feel like we've made so much money on like the little things and like freeing up wages with Coates and Neto and Adan that
Yeah.
we've had that more chance to spend and not have to sell anyone.
Yeah,
Of course, get
that's
the
the
Champions
thing.
League.
That's like 2 or 3 huge contracts on, like, what
Yeah.
Portuguese?
Yeah,
teams are
and just
off
getting to
the
the
books.
Champions League proper is like 30 million euros or maybe 40 million euros or something
Yeah,
like that.
something
So,
crazy.
Yeah. Not to mention the other big sales from previous years, like Ugarte. We never really spent that money. Nuno
and we
Mendes,
might be getting a sell-on fee if he goes to Man
spent that
United
money.
as well.
And exactly, so
Yeah.
it's looking good. But in terms of the prediction, I'm gonna be holding a trophy come 9 months from now. Don't worry about it, boys. We all will be holding a trophy soon.
You're
Can't
buying
wait
the
for that.
500 euro
Can't wait for
replica?
that.
Clip it up, baby.
Fine.
Clip
If
it
they
up.
still a toss of the Liga one, you will.
Chris, what about you? What is your prediction for the league?
It's tough to predict back to back. I predicted
I was
second
hesitant.
last year, and we ended up winning the league, obviously. Do I think that the other two teams that we were clearly better than last year reinforced themselves enough to be equal to us? I don't think Porto has,
Really.
probably.
I think Porto's stayed the same, if not regressed. Benfica
Yeah,
kinda
and I
has.
think Benfica probably got slightly better. Obviously, it still remains to be seen. Whenever we've made our big sales, except Ugarte was literally the one exception to this. It's always like August 23rd when that's the
Yeah.
big.
It's usually late.
And I'm looking at the calendar. It says August 1. That is at least 3 weeks away. So
We got
Yeah.
29 more days.
We could lose 2 players, 1 player, no players. I don't know if we're ever going to resolve the Ioannidis case, if we're actually going to sign him, if we
Yeah,
are
but-
just going to splash 25 million on him. I feel like the obsession with him indicates that we probably will lose Gyökeres. I don't know. Obviously, if he stays, this really affects my prediction. Because I mean, I think he was probably the best player in the league last season. So yeah, right now, I think that we are going to win the league right now. With the
3
squad
league
that we have.
winners.
Looking at the squads, and I think that the top 3 probably stays the same. But I don't know. I feel like it's cheating, but I don't want to have to revisit my prediction. And, hopefully if we lose Gyökeres, actually do sign Ioannidis, that we, are signing like a 25 goal minimum machine, that. But it's tough to do that, even, no matter who you are, So, yeah, it'll be tough to fill those shoes no matter who's stepping into them. I mean, hopefully we have both, I guess, right? And then Ioannidis is filling that Paulinho role. I mean, we're luxury. It's a luxury.
25 million on a backup psycho behavior.
And sometimes an occasional starter, like slightly out of position, I suppose, too, right?
Yeah,
and then Gyökeres leaves next season and he steps into a full-time role. I don't know. That's the ideal scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't think that's going to happen, but it'd be pretty sweet if it did.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to agree with all of it. I think we've got to go back to back. And I think it would be a disservice to the squad number if we said second or third, because they've done so well. And last year they did so well. And I know I mentioned the leaders leaving, like Coates, and, as much as he digressed to Dan and Luis Neto, like, those are going to be big losses. But I think we've got the experience of winning the league with, like, Pedro Gonzalez, Nuno Santos, Gonzalo Ignacio. These guys are ready to step up. And of course, Hjulmand becoming the captain is such a good choice, because he pretty much was the captain almost last year on the pitch. He is definitely took a leadership role. So I think it would be a discredit to the squad if we didn't put it back to back. I think it's going to be a lot more difficult than last season was, and last season was difficult enough. I think with the added competition of the Champions League, especially with the more fixtures, because it's different.
There's an extra round of fixtures. You have an extra 2 games as opposed to 6.
And they say like 6, 7 different teams. Like, it's not the same.
Yeah,
team
you won't play no one's gonna play the same team twice.
Is it me or
work?
Say that again, Daddy, sorry.
What's going on, Daniel?
I must have lost connection. My bad.
You're good.
I thought you guys were buffering, so
you're
Chris
good.
was moving, so I thought maybe. Okay, my bad. Let me mute myself.
No, we're good. But yeah, so I think we've got to try and go back to back. And I did ask this question to the Twitterverse and, of course, our friends / media. Got a nice little PowerPoint presentation for you. So the media: Long Ball Football, Zach Lowy, Con Murphy, Kevin, Inside Sporting, and GM10 Media. All of them predicted second, bar a few, but that was
that beautiful new long ball logo.
It is.
Yeah, shout out to our friends at Long Ball Football. That logo, your branding slaps. So nice.
It is really good. But if we look at the, there you go, you've got a little silver medal for you. But if we look at what Twitter thinks we're gonna go back to back, and we're gonna witness the celebrations again. So the Twitterverse is more confident than the media. Let's see in about 8-9 months who is correct there, but we shall see. Next up on the categories is, of course, back in the Champions League. So where do you think we're going to finish? What round are we going to get to in the Champions League? And I'll go back, so I'll start this time. I think we've got to try and at least get to the knockout phase.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's it. But the new knockout phase, because if I am correct, I think it's top 8 in the league format go straight through to round 16. They get a bye.
It's
Everyone
like
else has
Europa
to go
League.
to a qualifying.
So what, we
So,
got to get top
kinda like
16?
Yeah, it's top 24 out of
fuck
36.
is this
Top 24,
shit,
that's
dude?
Like it's kind of cool, but it's
All right, we
kind
got to
of
get 15th, boys.
You gotta get anywhere from 1st to 24th, literally, because there's no drop downs to Europa League now, right?
no.
So it's top 8 going automatically, and then the next 16. So
Dude.
teams 9 to 24 get drawn into like an extra round of 16. It's man,
All right,
UEFA.
we gotta advance, dude. If we get like 20,
You gotta make it at least to
That just
that knockout
sucks,
round.
dude.
That's psycho if you can't.
Don't
You
get
gotta
20.
get at least 10. You
Don't
gotta get
get
that extra
34th.
game.
Someone's gotta get them now. Someone's gotta get.
Someone's gotta finish.
And if it's any team in the world that could get it, it's us.
Yeah. We'll finish 25th.
Someone's gotta finish 41st, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, it's crazy. 36 teams and like 24 of them technically go to the knockouts. That's crazy behavior.
Yeah, I think we've got to push for knockouts. I think even if it's going to be a bit more difficult, it's what we've got to push for. And I think, because it's such a different format, we could say that
points probably gets you there, right?
I think so, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
From my football manager saves,
yeah,
pretty much like 10 to 12 points will get
10 or
you
10
through,
points,
bro.
you're probably in.
8 might even get you in the mix. Come on, we can do
As
that,
long as you don't
bro.
finish out of 36 teams, as long as you don't finish 25th.
Yeah,
Mathematically, the math is still kind of it's in your favor to advance.
Yeah.
It'll be big if we lose big. So like goal difference might matter after a certain point, especially if we're like on the bottoms there.
Well, there's gonna be no head-to-head. There's gonna be like no head-to-heads for
Exactly.
most tiebreakers, right? Unless you're like the team you lost to, like you come in direct confrontation, like points wise, and that's like the difference between like finishing in the top 8 and finishing in like 12th or something stupid, right? Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go for knockout round. Chris, what is your prediction for the Champions League?
I'm gonna predict 17.
Let's go.
We're gonna be solidly mid-table, is what he said.
Yeah,
we'll still advance, but
we're gonna be
like
solidly mid-table, and we're gonna win.
If we come back
round.
at the end of the season and we finish 17th,
I'm gonna try.
And then we're gonna win one round against the team that's like basically in our level. You know, our seed will be playing like a pretty similar seed. And then we'll draw like Real Madrid in the next round, and that's when we'll go out.
We'll draw Manchester, so we'll draw Bayern Munich, like just some super club.
But I mean, that's I guess anything more than that, I would say that's a treat. That's
you're playing with house money.
But yeah, I do think that we can get top 24 for sure.
Yeah, facts. Danny, what about you?
No, I agree. Knockout rounds, and then obviously not make 8th, but within the top 24, and then we'll see who we can get. If we get like a really tough team, I don't see us going through to the round of 16 or quarters or whatever it is immediately.
You're right. You're round of 16. You're on.
Is it around the 16?
Yeah. So it's like 2 rounds. It's like the Europa League basically. It's like 2 rounds of 16, essentially.
Yeah.
We
but I'm saying
really pulled a two-legged upset in a while. It feels like.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see. I feel like it depends on the draw, but we have more than enough to. I'm actually going to agree with Chris here. I think we're going to come 17th. It sounds about right. Nani's coming back to the Portuguese league. 17th. I like it.
You're stretching, but I respect it. with that one.
12 points.
Richard, what about you? Where do you think we're going to finish?
We're going to finish 20. We're going to finish 22nd. We're gonna just squeak through
I'll take it. I'll take
22nd,
22nd, honestly.
We might
24th, bro.
but our chances of getting to that next round will be lower.
I think we'll lock out and get like an okay draw, and then we'll get just fucking annihilated against like Man City again or somebody in like the actual round of 16. So I'm with you guys. We make it. We get to the preliminary knockout round, and then we probably get drawn against like just some killer of a team in the actual round of 16. And it's just, or they just screw up the draw again, and we get a decent draw, and then they're like, nope, you get Bayern Munich this time.
We would have beaten Juventus, man.
We could have absolutely taken Juventus. That's what pissed me off too. And what happened was they're like, oh, we technically screwed up the draw, but we didn't screw up the draw. But we have to do it again. Anyways, like, nah, this is rigged. This is stupid. You screwed up the draw, but you didn't screw up the draw. So either you did or you didn't. Like, just own up to it and be like, no, this is the draw. It is what it is. Like, yeah, we should have drawn like this instead of this, like at this time, but it didn't actually affect the results. But fuck it anyways. And I was like, man, fuck you, UEFA.
Agreed. The media thinks that we're going to make it to the round of 16, so they're a bit more confident than us, I would say, because we're sort of knockout round-ish. And as far as I know, Twitter did predict exactly the same round of 16 exit. I mean, good to be optimistic, but I just don't know if we have a squad deep enough for the Champions League at this stage. A knockout round I would take, but we've got to wait and see, I suppose. Next up is the player awards, so the individual player awards.
We're not predicting tops of the Liga. What is this?
Because it's only the final four, man. That's
we
also quarterfinals.
We already know who's winning it.
Yeah, or I mean us, but like, come on, we got to do it for the people. It's final 8. I'll have you know. We played Nacional.
All right, we're making the semis.
We're making the semis. Who the hell knows?
Guaranteed.
Making the semis. We'll be in the final 4. All right, carry on.
I just feel like there's who knows on that one. But anyway, player awards. So we're just going to go for the best player of the season. I think last year we all agreed that it was Gyökeres. There was a few other names in there as well. But Danny, I'll start with you. Who do you think is going to be player of the season?
I'm inclined to go Gyökeres again, but as Chris mentioned, maybe he's going to leave.
Ianides player of the season.
Whatever center back we get to replace St. Just allegedly, I think he's gonna. I'm gonna go with Pot. I'm hoping for a big season from Pot.
Oh, you took mine.
Richard, who's yours?
I was gonna say Pot. I was not because I don't think Gyökeres is leaving. I just think Pot's gonna be. I think Pot's pissed off that he didn't make the Euros team and he should have, and he's got like a point to prove now and say, yeah, watch this, and he's gonna look at last season and he's gonna go even more sicko mode than he did last season. So I'm expecting some big things from my man Pot. That's my boy.
Nice. Christian, what about you?
And as Sam pointed out earlier on Twitter, even if Pot does do that, he will now find himself behind Jota Silva as well now.
Yeah.
In the pecking order. As long as Jota Silva's getting consistent minutes, it does not matter what
do you mean? What do you mean? Consistent minutes doesn't matter? We called up guys who played 12 minutes.
Yeah, okay, actually he just
needs to Felix.
He needs to play like 3 times.
He's played 3 games all season, he'll be fine.
It's player of the season overall. I'm gonna go Humland, the captain.
Ooh, okay.
I think he's gonna score like 7 goals, and just he's gonna be a leader, immense.
We know he's got some bangers in him.
Yeah.
We know he's got bangers in him, so
he already had a good season last season, and he's just gonna he's gonna build on it.
Great Euros too.
Yeah.
Really good Euros from him. Yeah.
Shame he was suspended for the game that they eventually went out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go a bit left field. I'm going to go for Gonzalo Inacio. I think that without Coates, he's
beyond him for the whole season.
For all.
I feel like he's going to have the opportunity to grow as a leader himself and take that next step. I feel like without Coates, we notice all of the back 3 are just a bit off. We noticed against Atlanta in the first game of the Europa League that they all just sort of drop off. But I think without that presence, someone's got to step up, and I think it's going to be someone like Inacio. Could maybe put Diamonde there. Even De Bast was one of the captains at Anderlecht as well. Maybe it's him. But I think Gonzalo Inacio has a chance to step up, and he's either going to take it with both hands or the opposite. But yeah, I'm going to go with Gonzalo Inacio for that one. Twitter thinks that it's going to be Victor Gyökeres, of course, a very safe option, but probably the correct option as well. The fact that he has just been as good as he is, of course, as Chris mentioned before, if he stays, that is. And then I asked the media. Now, this one actually had quite a lot of different answers, but they also went with Victor Gyökeres, but they had a few for Hjulmand. I think there was a rogue shout for Diamande in there as well. So
that was definitely from G. I know the rogue. I was definitely G who was on the Diamande train. I'm pretty sure.
I can actually confirm it wasn't. He put Hjulmand.
Oh, okay.
So
That threw
it
me
was-
off because he's a big Diamande guy. I know that.
I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but it wasn't him. I'll give
I'm
him
not
that.
mad at the Diamande shout though. Let me also
No.
say that. I'm not mad at that at all.
Thanks. Next up is the award for the most improved player. So I think last year we all agreed that it was Eduardo Quaresma who got it last year, especially because he was literally not probably going to be in the squad until Amrim sort of
He was
had to force him
he
in.
was a completely like off the radar, like left field like player last season. Like pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I'll take this one first. I think it's going to be Ivan Fresneda. I think
Fuck, I'm gonna say that.
with the
I hope
the
you're right.
season he had last year.
I hope you're right.
I hope
too.
I'm right too.
I hope you're. A lot of people hope you're right.
But I feel like now he's fully fit. He's had the preseason. Esgaio surely has got to be on the way out. Even if it's not this season, he's got to be phased out eventually. Jenny Katama, I don't know if he's going to play every game at right wing back, especially against more attacking teams. We know he's not the best defensively. Fresneda is pretty good 1v1, so I'm hoping that comes
I
in
mean,
his
this
favor.
guy is not great defensively either. We put him out there, so
Where he's not good offensively, defensively, or everything in between. But anyway,
he's just a warm body on the pitch. He's
We're
making
stuck
up the
with him,
numbers.
bro. No offers.
Yeah, you got no offers from like not even like a Qatari club or like from MLS or something. Like you're cooked.
yeah.
No one wanted. You were openly on the market and not a soul called on you.
Toluca's willing to spend $8 million on Paulinho, but we can't
Yeah,
get
well,
like 3 from Isgaio.
You can't get like
Three.
you can't get like a
Two.
million. You can't get like 2
A
mil
mil.
from like
Two?
Pachuca or somebody.
Bro, we have to pay the club to take him off us. Not
Yeah,
get
dude, I don't
Yeah.
even know if he's
Yeah.
netting like 300K, bro. Which is
Give-
my
give
friend.
him-
When my friend played USL Division 2, his transfer value was 300K. Obviously, no one ever paid for that. That was his market value.
But yeah,
So yeah, I guess he's like
I like
maybe
it.
has the market value that my boy did in like 2022.
what's transfer market saying right now for him?
we should
It
send him to
probably
Estrella.
says like 4, but like
Which is like at least
no one
double
will
what it
pay
should
that,
be.
bro.
Yeah, no. He was openly on the market, not a soul, not like
The
a
thing is like
not
we
like an
can't
oil
really
club.
just rescind either because you don't really have like unlimited outside backs.
No, it's like you're kind of just
His
stuck
market
there.
value on transfer market is 3 million.
3 million.
That it's
Okay,
just
that's
like
that's
it's
surprising.
wishful thinking.
I wasn't
and
bad. I wasn't. My
I
shot.
bet
for
that
3 million
graph
wasn't
looks
crazy.
like that, bro.
But yeah, Danny, you go next. Who do you think is going to be the most improved?
With all that being said, Ricardo Isgaio is definitely going to be the most.
Get out of here, leave. Leave call.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Sam. I think my hope is Ivan Fresneda. Another name that I can maybe only think of is Trincão, although he wasn't that bad last season. But
He was good last season. He had a great.
yeah, he
second
was
half
good
of the
last season. Exactly. He started off slow for sure. I'm hoping he can still take his game to another level. I think he still has a lot more to improve. I think the potential that he showed in Braga that got him to move to Barcelona, I don't think he's quite hit those heights just yet. And I mean, he's still young. He can still achieve that. And if anything, now he's entering his prime years, right? He's about 24, 25 or something, or about to turn 24.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping that he could be more of a mainstay in the squad. Because one thing from last season, I couldn't tell you who played more between him and Edwards, right? Like maybe
I
him
would
a
say
bit.
him.
Yeah, but it's not by many more appearances, in my opinion. More so towards the end, it was more Trincão, but in the beginning, there was a lot more of Edwards, right?
The thing
Maybe
is when one of them is good, it's always the other one is so
The other
bad.
one's
Last
playing
year
Yeah, I
it was-
remember that. Yeah.
It was
They're
Edwards.
never,
But the year
like,
before, it was.
Can never be good or bad at
Yeah.
the same time. It seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, I think I'm hoping for maybe a big season from Trincão, so I'll say him most improved, and hopefully he can, instead of dividing those hours with Edwards, he can stamp himself as the right winger, or vice versa. I don't mind if Edwards does it either, but
Fair enough. Richard, what about you? Your most improved player for next season?
I'm looking through the team right now. Like I'm looking to see who we've got. I was gonna say Trincão probably. Yeah, I think
Let me also say a easy shout would also be Kineda, because if he gets 1 minute of play, it's already more improved.
It's already an
than last
improvement.
season. You know what I mean?
I'm not counting him just because he wasn't on the team. I'm like, even though it would kind of count, I'll go with Trincão. I think Trincão is going to probably take another step. He might start off slow again, which isn't uncommon. He kind of seems to be a bit of a slow start, but second half Trincão appears to be a real thing, where he just goes sicko mode for like a month or two in the second half of the season, and then just kind of goes along as kind of normal level. So I'll say Trincão. I think Diamande will also take a step though. I think last year, going to AFCON and not really getting any playing time kind of just screwed up his game rhythm. So not that he was like bad when he came back, but he was a little prone to some boneheaded maneuvers every once in a while. But I think he'll take a big leap up. Another year older, another year wiser. So I expect big things from him. So I'll go with Diamande just to be different, just to be a little unique in these parts. So Ousmane Diamande.
Nice, fair enough. Chris, what about you? Your most improved player?
Bro, I'm looking at transfer market as well. Dude, I don't think that they have ever given our squad players as high of market values as they have right now. Dude, 45 million for Inacio, 40 million for Diamande, 40 million for Humland, 65 for Gyökeres. Bro, Bruno Fernandes did not get over like 45 on his market value by them. Like, dude, like literally all of them are higher. That's crazy, dude.
Unbelievable.
And then poor Pot is still stuck on 32, and all his
boys are in the 40s. Him not getting called up to the Euros like tanked his value by like
he's just permanently 30, no matter what.
He's gonna be the $30 million man.
But yeah, that's crazy. I've never.
The only one who's drastically gone down too, I would say, is probably Edwards.
Yeah, he probably peaked at around like 20 30. Now. Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame.
He's actually is my shout for most improved player. It might be just wishful thinking, I hope, but I actually, I don't think it's that controversial to say that he was disappointing a bit last season. He didn't grow more from the season before, that's for sure. So I'm hoping for a big season for him. And that's the only way he's gonna get that move to England that he wants, brother. I know you want it, but you need to put in like at least 6 really good months to get that. So hopefully that's this season.
I will say the best version of Edwards is Champions League Edwards. So I'm hoping this season that he turns it on like that run against Tottenham. I know he didn't score, but damn, that was...
Yeah, if we play an English team, especially away, in the Champions League, bro, you gotta start him. He's gonna go insane.
He's gonna go sicko mode. He's gonna have
every scout let him know.
Oh no! Well, he's gonna let him know the king's back. He's gonna be ready to go. Especially if it's a London team too, he's gonna go just ballistic.
Yeah, facts. Twitter believes that Eduardo Quaresma will be the most improved again, which is fair enough. I can see him improving again.
Especially with St. Just out, he's going to get a lot more minutes.
Yeah,
100%. And media most improved player of the season award does go to Ivan Fresneda as well.
Okay.
So I think those are 2 very fair ones. Quaresma, like you said, depending on St. Just. Let's be honest, St. Just is getting injured again at some point.
So, he's injured now as we speak. What do you mean?
He went on I feel like he went home to do like a retreat in the woods or something and like meditate. Just like think.
He's going to be like Master Yoda. He's going to exile himself for like a little bit.
Dude, he deleted all his Instagram.
He's going to find himself. He's going Luke Skywalker.
He's like in the woods right now, just like thinking.
He's isolated from the world like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. He's just going to come back stronger.
Yeah, that's how
he needs to get the stem cell treatment that like Rey Mysterio has. He can move. He can fly now. Like, that's what St. Just needs.
Bro, Rey Mysterio is like what 50, and he's still just jumping up and down
They need to replace every muscle in both of his legs, and
they need to replace his legs. That's what I gather. They need to replace
leg
his
transplant, lower body transplant,
leg transplant, like in Family Guy. Like Joe, here's a set of legs. Here you go.
Also, quick segue. Check out the latest video on our YouTube channel about Jeremiah St. Just. But anyway, next up is best youngster, and I've labeled this as under 21 and below because we still do have quite a young squad, so we can fit a lot of players in the sort of under 23s. So under 21s, Chris, I'll start with you. Who do you think will be the best youngster of the next season?
I think he's going to be a huge part of the team. I'm very high on him. He has big shoes to fill, obviously, and the standard is high. But Big Z DeBast, I think, is.
I forgot he's only like 19.
He's 20. Yeah. He's
20. Never mind. Well, I forgot he's 20.
Yeah.
20, Belgian international, former captain of Anderlecht.
Yeah. I think he's got all the he checks all the boxes for a great future sporting player. So I'm hoping that he steps into that role and develops into a full-time starter this season.
Yeah. Thanks, Richard. What about you?
I'm torn between two names. You'll probably know that. I'm torn between Mateus Fernandes and Giovanni Caneda. I'm going to go Mateus Fernandes. I think he's going to be huge. I think, judging by how he played when he went on loan for Estoril last year, how he's looked playing for the junior national teams last year, I think he's going to be huge. But it wouldn't shock me if Caneda's the other guy who just pops off, especially as we kind of need a bit more of an adventurous winger. So I think both are going to probably impress us, but I'm going to go with Mateus Fernandes for the tiebreaker, just because we're a bit more familiar with him. So I'll go with him.
Yeah, fair enough. Danny, what about you?
Yeah, asked me this 2 weeks ago, and I might have said Alfonso Moreira. I'm not going to lie, because he hasn't been loaned out just yet.
Yeah.
But after the preseason game and a half that I've seen of him play, although I agree with you, Chris, I'm very big on Bast as well. I'm very big on Caneda as well. That kid looked so fucking good against, was it Sevilla or Villarreal? One of those. I can't remember.
It was Sevilla.
That was the game I watched. He looked so really good. And we talked about Edwards. We talked about Trincão and obviously Pot. I think Caneda has something to say if Ruben Amorim decides to play him as a winger and not as a wing back. Because, Ruben Amorim might do some stupid shit like that.
He's been known to do that on occasion where he's like, you're a winger? No, you're a wing back.
Nah, you're a right wing back, like Fatau.
Well, Nuno Sanch wasn't a wing back. He was a left winger.
Yeah.
Now he's a wing back.
Yeah. But
we do that all the time.
But yeah, for young player, I'll go with Caneda.
That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go with Mateus Fernandes as well. I think the midfield is going to be rotated with such a heavy season. I wasn't that impressed with Morita last season as much as I do love him. I think Bragança came in and was arguably the better player for most of the season, but I think Mateus Fernandes, after his loan spell, he has evolved, and in preseason he looked good as well. So I think Mateus Fernandes, especially off the bench with tired legs, do you know how Bragança was in our first season when we won the league? When he came on and he could just create. I think that's going to be exactly what Mateus Fernandes is going to be. So I'm hoping much of the same. When we go to Twitter, there was actually quite a lot of different answers for this. So a lot of people said Rodrigo Ribeiro. There is a lot, yeah. Rodrigo Ribeiro. I saw a few shouts of Rafael Nel as well. Of course, DeBast was in there as well. But the winner was Mateus Fernandes, of course. Much agree with me and Richard. And then the media, did I forget to put this one in? I forgot to put the media one in. But the media also said Mateus Fernandes as well.
Okay.
But cool. Up next, Chris, this is going to sort of counteract your last one, which is signing of the season. So I'll start off with you. I assume it's going to be the best.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only been two, so there's not much to.
Yeah, or future future sporting legend Fotis Ioannidis or Ioannidis. We're not quite sure how to pronounce it yet. He hasn't explained it yet, but I'm sure he will in a video when he signed. Hugo was in Greece yesterday or today. I don't even remember when I tweeted that, either yesterday or today. I was thinking of the picture of St. Just in the airport, which was a great shout because he did leave to go home that day. Whoever sniped the pic of him in the airport, but the pic of Hugo and coach was real,
interesting.
Relatable.
I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. So yeah, hopefully he did his thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Zeno.
Yeah, fair enough. Danny, what about you?
I was gonna say the same, or the other defender we signed to replace St. Just. But you know what? I'll be different. I'm gonna say I don't know how to say his last name, but
Kovacevic.
They've been going off Vlad. Is it Kovacevic? Okay.
Kovacevic.
But I'm gonna call him Vlad, Big Vlad Daddy. Vladdy Daddy.
Big Vladdy.
Who I actually think I don't know if you guys have caught it in the media the past couple days. It seems like the Franco-Israel camp is putting the pressure on Vlad. Maybe he hasn't looked that great behind the scenes. I mean, he had that one mistake.
He's made some mistakes in preseason.
There's only been a couple games, right? It's a very small sample, like smaller than usual. So only 2-3 games. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope he's great, obviously, but like there might be some discontent behind the scenes if Israel's like, yo, like I want out actually if I'm just gonna sit behind this dude because I think
if that's the case, Franco can go because even in this small sample size, Vlad's looked a lot better than Franco, especially on his feet. Especially on his feet. Franco couldn't even fucking clear the ball out, bro. Wasn't
that was like
Nasu clearing it for him?
My argument for that, though, Danny, is that that was Israel's first full professional season, and he was called in randomly. So his first season as a goalkeeper professionally, that's not a bad season. A league winner, and he also did pretty well.
We probably also win the cup if we have Israel in net and not a literal child.
Yes.
Just putting it out there. Just putting that out there.
He's what, like 23, 24 for a goalkeeper? That's incredibly young. So, I think don't sell him. If you have to loan him, then loan him. But he's also been given the number 1 shirt as well, which is very strange if you're giving someone the number 1 shirt and then being like, no, you can sit on the bench as number 1. But I don't know.
I think they're
really quick. If it is, I know this is a theory that you're coming up with, Chris, but if it really is the Franco chat, like the Franco camp starting off like a kerfuffle because there's like competition for places. If that is the case, if he's not willing to embrace the competition,
get out.
Then
fuck off. Don't be a baby.
We have Kalai as well there. That
but again, his competition was Dan for the last 2 seasons, being the worst goalkeeper I've seen in
a while.
You have to think he's been waiting a long time.
But what did he expect from this signing? We're clearly signing somebody.
Clearly,
like we could have kept Kalai, and both of them have fight it off for a competition.
I'm just upset we didn't sign.
And I guess there's a world that we're in. I mean, how long did he have the starting job for? Like 2 months, maybe, to end the season.
2 months,
2 or 3 months. Yeah.
If he was like, oh my god, this dude's incredible,
crazy.
Like,
exactly.
There's a world where we're actually looking to sign just a veteran backup to him because he played so well,
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's not the world that we live in.
That's not the case, exactly.
No, he was fine. He wasn't spectacular at the end of the day.
I will say the one thing I have with Vladan is that his name does include Dan. So,
Vladan.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck! It's Jover.
Oh shit!
It's Jover.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
This is a Russian Adan in disguise, bro.
We're finishing 4th.
Adan Kovacevic.
He's got a kind of boxy head like Adan too. Now you mention it.
Bro, now that you mention it, he looks just like him, bro. Just without a tan.
Bro, if he plays well for us, though, I mean, he's gonna be getting caps for Bosnia. I was actually pretty surprised that he had never gotten any Bosnian caps. I think he's been in the squad but never played.
Never like a starter, no.
Yeah, he's never gotten like in the game to get a cap. But yeah, I mean, he got all the potential for him. You know, it's set up for him to have, this for it to be a runway. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
He's at a good age for goalies too, like mid-20. That's usually when goalies really start to come into their own most of the time.
Got the physical tools.
Has the height.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't teach height. Can't teach size.
And if me and Rich know anything by being Canadian, a goalkeeper named Vlad is a good sign.
Good signing.
Nice. Richard, what about you?
Any Eastern European goalies, they're going to go probably sickle mode most of the time.
Look at the NHL.
I was going to say Kovacevic, but I think I'll go DeBost just to be kind of different. I don't know. Yeah, DeBost. I think he had a really good showing with Anderlecht last season. Looked fine at the Euros. I mean, it wasn't the best of Belgian teams, let's be honest. He's looked fine in preseason, but I'm expecting him to be pretty good. I think it might take him a little bit of time to grow into the role and come into his own. So you might get an average to a bit of a rough performance the first month, but I think he'll grow into the role nicely. So I'll go DeBost.
Yeah.
There's only 2 to pick from. We signed.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie.
What do you do?
When I put this out, I thought we signed a lot more players.
You thought we would have had at least 1 or maybe 2 more signings, but we've got nothing.
Well, it was the best for both. There was a few, of course, Vladan shouts in there, but the best was the most.
I think the best is an understandable. That's the understandable choice.
Yeah, that is it for our season predictions. I think we've all gone pretty safe with a lot of our predictions, so we will see. Which leads us on to some other news and tidbits. One thing that I really did want to bring up is Cedric going on some sort of
I got thoughts about this
campaign. So this is just one of the snippets that comes from Cedric and his interview, saying it's sad that Sporting doesn't have the culture of bringing back its former players. Of course, Nani going to Estrela de Amadora. There was some whispers about him maybe returning to Sporting as a locker room presence, but it was never anything concrete. I'll start with you, Richard, since you said you had a lot to say. What are your thoughts on Cedric speaking out like this?
First of all, we've brought Nani back twice. You fucking pillock. So right off the bat, you're just quick Google search could have saved you that stupid remark. Number 2, because most of the players that want to come back are so fucking washed by the time they want to come back to Sporting. It's usually not worth it bringing them back.
Adrian saw this interview and he was like,
I love Nani. I am a huge Nani fan. Outside of locker room presence, is it really worth it bringing him in? For what he's probably I don't know. It'd be nice for the vibes, but we're really not getting much out of it.
Is he not going to be happier at Amadora anyways?
Yeah,
exactly.
There's zero pressure on him to do.
They're
anything
building a fun team.
If he came to Sporting, people are going to be looking to see 20-year-old.
And he has beef with Fernandez.
Exactly.
I don't even think it's just beef. It's Sporting fans are dumb enough where they would have been "Oh, Nani's coming back. We're winning everything now." Because that's how some people they would have thought we were getting 25-year-old Manchester United Nani, not 37 coming off of total knee reconstruction Nani.
At
or however old he is. No. Second of all the former players that want to come back are so washed. Adrian was twerking for how long to come back from Sporting? He's been washed since he left.
He finally gave it up, I think. I think he might have finally given it up, but he did try for 4 years.
Talking about
since he left.
There was losers talking about, we should bring Patricio back. Patricio sucks. He had 3 good seasons with Sporting, and that was
Is he still a free agent?
Yeah,
I think so. He got replaced by Svlilar as well. So
I'm not against.
If Israel, to Chris's point though, if Israel really did well last season, really, really well, maybe we get Patricio as his backup.
But
that would have been sick, dude.
I'm never gonna be against a guy saying I want to come back to Sporting, whatever, no matter who it is. But it's this was such blatant Cedric being I'm just salty because they never called me. This was big subtweeting because she didn't call you, bro. That was what.
It's also if you're trying to get hired by the club, coming out to do an interview saying, pretty much shitting on Sporting isn't going to get you.
It isn't going to help you get a job. Like, if
Maybe
anything, that would turn clubs that aren't Sporting off him. It's like, well, he's being a bitch. He's being a baby. Grow up. Like, how old is Cedric? He's got to be 30 something by now. Like, you're grown, man.
32 maybe.
You're grown. Like, go hug your mother. Go hug your wife or kids or something. Like, grow up.
It's also
what does the matter with you?
It's just not true. Like, we got Slimani back in not that long ago. We got Freddie Montero back.
Yeah. João Pereira,
João Mario.
Like, we've done it before.
Elias. We even brought back Elias. Like, what is
you know what? Cedric's full of crap too, because there's guys we've wanted to come back that snubbed the team completely. Because we wanted to bring João Mario back after that season, and he said no. I'm going for more money. I'm like, fair, chase the bag. We asked Figo to come back years ago, and Figo was no. I need to go sit on the bench at Inter Milan. Like, guys that we wanted to come back have snubbed us. Like, sorry.
To further his anti-Sporting campaign, he pretty much defended João Mario's move to Benfica, saying like, "Oh, it's not easy. Like, his life wasn't easy." And to me, it just reminds me of those footballers being like, "Oh, I didn't get paid enough, even though you could probably retire and never have to work again." Sort of that bullshit. But Cedric continues his sort of story, and I guess this one is more defending his friend than it is like anti-Sporting, I suppose.
Yeah. João Mario made a business decision at the end of the day, and I'm not going to argue with him on that.
But
he got offered more money, and he took the more money. It is what it is. People need to stop being babies about that too.
But
I'm not happy about it. But
to that exact point, Rich, Sporting's making a business decision, because I'm pretty sure this is coming from a place of hurt. As a guy that goes sees a therapist, Cedric, go see a therapist.
Go talk to someone. Talk to your friend.
This is coming from a place of hurt. You wanted to come back to Sporting. We already have 3 right backs. First and foremost, I think he left Arsenal on a free.
Why do you think he did this interview? Of course, he doesn't have a club.
It's so rich.
Guys with clubs don't do these interviews, Chris. Come on.
Nah, it's so rich from a player that like is saying all of this, but it's never the other way around. When Adrian comes out with an interview in the Journal saying, "Oh, if I leave, like Sporting fans shouldn't be upset about this," basically forcing a move. We should be okay with that. When João Mario does that as well, where we're willing to pay Inter or something like that, he rescinds his contract, signs with Benfica. That's not an issue either. But if we don't want to sign you because now you're 32, we have 3 right backs already as it is. We can't even get rid of each guy, let alone you in a few years.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It just came out of left field too, which is kind of disappointing coming from a guy like Cedric, who, for the most part, was always in our good good graces. Champion. I think he'll still continue to be in our good graces, but it's kind of left field. It wasn't necessary.
It was just like a Cedric, shut up. No one's listening.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the Dave Chappelle mean of like, let's see what Ja Rule thinks.
What is Ja Rule thing? I need to know what Ja Rule thinks about this. Someone call him up.
But for me, this as well. I know you said about business decision and money and stuff, but does João Mario look back at that move and be like, okay, I won 1 title with Benfica, but since I've left Sporting, I've won a title. Benfica fans don't really like João Mario that much, and Benfica fans don't even like the board and stuff that much.
Benfica fans don't like Benfica that much.
I mean, bro, for what they're paying him and what he brings, it is not a good deal.
Understand.
Yeah. So I think it's one of them where it's like, yeah, you chose probably the more money, fair enough, but look where it's got you. Your
and also Benfica was like obviously trying to own us too. Like
it was.
Yeah, we're so owned, bro, that you paid him like $5 million.
Yeah, it was. We're gonna mess with the smart thing a bit. Like you kind of mess with us, but it was like okay, fair. Like we didn't want to.
No one even cared. Dude.
He's not worth.
Even at the time, no one even cared, bro.
It was. I think even most Sporting fans were like, oh, like it sucks to see him go because he was very well liked, and it sucks to see a guy like that go to a rival. But it's like he's not worth.
It was disappointing. I wasn't like, no, I can't believe they just signed Jean.
No, like Sporting fans understood as well. Like we're not paying him that because like as much
they're going to be unstoppable now.
Not worth it. Like God, my God.
Yeah, we did speak about it earlier, and we've not really touched on it though, and that is St. Just's 11 injuries since joining the club. Of course, getting injured in the preseason game. I feel like I've asked
Ray
questions so
Card
many
did dirty
times.
by making that graphic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They did. But
That's
do you
a
think
crazy
it's over
draft.
for St. Just? Is it time to cut ties? Is it time to try and either rescind his contract, loan him out, sell him? Like, what is the option, or keep him around? What do you think, Danny?
I say for one more season, keep him around, just because there's no
How many years is he
value.
on this
Yeah, I was gonna say we're probably on the hook for like at least 3 more years, probably.
At least I think 2 or 3. I could check,
It's got to
but
be closer. It's got to be closer.
there's no point of him leaving on a free and then becoming, well, is he ever going to become a world beater? Who knows? But
2026 is
2026.
It's up to his
2
hamstring.
more years.
We got 2 more years.
2 more years. So
Two
there's
seasons.
nothing. I say we keep him for one more season, if because he's expected to be out for what, another 3-4 weeks.
Yeah,
I think
I
I
don't
heard
know
3, 4,
anymore.
5 weeks or something like that.
You could tell me any timeline and I'd believe you.
Yeah.
as far as we know.
Or is that
it's-
Nuno Sanch, I think, is 3 to 5 weeks.
I think it's both. I think they said that
Yeah.
he's definitely not coming back before the international break, so it's going to be after September at least.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry,
probably
after
by like
August.
Canadian. So probably by October. So like just after Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, there's no point in rescinding his contract now, and he seems at least well established in the locker room. So
Seems well liked too.
at
in
the
locker
very
room,
least,
at least,
exactly. At the very least, he's going to be a very expensive personality hire. But
we lost
disappointing.
3
It's
old
just
guys, so he could be the requisite personality guy, I guess. He's
Yeah.
1 for the price of 3.
But even our old guys, like fucking Kwach is on like his last ligaments in his knees, and even still, it's like he hasn't missed as much time as St.
No, I know, right? Like he's like 34 or something. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm keeping him, but it's disappointing. It's super sad because imagine the Supertaça. As much as we're raving about Zeno and everything, but the back line of Diomandi, Inacio, and St. Just.
I'm just
Quaresma
saying,
off
Danny,
the bench.
he got sent off in the Tasta.
I don't think he would have been able to play.
Oh, he wouldn't have played.
brother.
Right. Fair.
Oh, if
Well,
you
whatever,
remember,
first
I don't know
game
if
of
you
the
remember the
season.
All Things Alvalade Final the Toss stream. He got booted out pretty
Right. I
quick.
forgot about that. But yeah, nonetheless, I mean, it would have been a really good back three with Zeno coming in, battling for somebody, like for someone's place in that back line, but it doesn't seem the case anymore.
The way I see it is just like he's a luxury player to have when he's fit, because in my opinion, if when fit, which is hardly ever, I think he's one of the best centre backs in the league.
Of course.
But I think Amrim looks at him as like, okay, you're a luxury player. If you're fit and available, great, you could play. But if not, we still got Quaresma at the best.
Yeah.
We've got Diomande, a few others as well. Inacio, of course. Mateus Reis even. You've got Jean Munoz as well coming up. Is it something that he's going to be like, okay, if you're not fit, then at least we've got some backup. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe for his career, maybe you're looking at retirement. If you keep getting injuries, there has to be a point of your career where you're just like, you know what?
Done.
Why? Like, I guess the money probably helps as well. I'm sure he's getting paid handsomely, but
I know hindsight's
He's
a
good
bitch,
enough that
but-
he can, like, it's like as long as someone will pay you, right? He can keep doing this.
Yeah.
And he's shown enough that people are gonna keep paying him.
Yeah.
Someone will take
We
a
need to-
chance on him, and the amount will get less and less every time.
But he'll still be
But-
getting paid. Like
Better than
enough.
fucking working as an accountant or whatever the fuck.
We'll make a better money than any of us, I'm sure, combined.
To that-
I'm
to
sure
that
it
point-
weighs on the mind a lot. It's a mental battle for him.
Mhm.
Clearly. That's why he went home. I mean, I'm sure the guy's having a very tough time mentally dealing with it, almost as much or more as he is physically. So, like, I mean, if he does come back, it shows like a lot of mental, fortitude, and perseverance. But it feels like it's not even up to him, really. It's like it's just like up to how his body.
It's like his body's failing. The mind is willing, but the body is not.
And I know hindsight's a bitch, but and I don't know how true these rumors were, but you guys remember the rumors of PSV being in for him?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're cutting off or not.
Yeah,
Okay,
I remember
perfect.
that.
So maybe hindsight's a bitch, but maybe the right thing to do was to sell him right then and there. Recoup something back rather than nothing, right? Because now at this point, it's like who's really willing to
you're
take
never
the
gonna
risk?
you're never gonna break even on him now. Like,
And even we probably wouldn't have broken even with him even if PSV were seriously in for him.
yeah,
But at least we would have gotten something for him. Now it's the case of like, is anybody even? I think each guy you might have more of a market value out there right now than St. Juice.
Yeah.
Which is
The only,
insane.
the only way I can see St. Just leaving is someone a loan move, but I feel like we'd have to pay most of his wages to send him there.
yeah,
anyway.
you're gonna pay like at least
It would at least be
70% of that
50-50.
wage.
Yeah. We have another Vinagre on our books, basically.
Yeah. But yeah.
Cost about the same. Like, you actually own more of St. Juice Pass at least.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to get a St. Just on like a pay-to-play contract, so he only gets paid
when he plays. You're
Per
on
minute.
you're not on salary, you're on hourly.
Yeah.
He's
So
on-
it switched me from salary to hourly. It's cheaper.
a departure that I wouldn't say shocked me, but I was disappointed in that he never became anything. It was Oliver Stevens terminating his contract
yeah.
to Udinese. I guess almost falling sideways, falling up, and then going to the Serie A.
Yeah, it feels like
Sort of.
he's not. I mean, that feels like too high of a level. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's just
Like
not
so
good.
many like guys like Pedro Mendes and stuff like that. Like they all went to Serie B, at least at first. Yeah, I mean he's not gonna get minutes. I feel like, but it'd be cool if he did. But I feel like this is. I can't even believe they took him. I'll be honest. You know.
I'm surprised that there was even that quality of a team in the market for him, because he's just he has all the tools. I think it's been said many a times. I think it's his maturity is just not there. It's a shame. It's almost like Quaresma a year like this time last year. We were like we didn't think Quaresma had the head for it, and Quaresma did a lot of growing up really quick. It seemed, because suddenly he was a mentality monster, and he was showing it off on the field and everything. It still feels like he just needs to grow up a bit. Like, it still feels like he how old is he? He's like, what, 22?
If that, yeah.
Probably less, maybe.
Yeah, like it just feels like he's got to, like, you're in your 20s. He's definitely in his 20s now. Like, you're in your 20s, you got to be a bit more of an adult. Like, things aren't just going to be given to you. You actually got to work for it a little bit. And I feel like he just needs that bit of a reality check. Maybe this will be it. I just don't see it based on several reality checks that he's already gotten, being benched and then loaned out and all sorts of stuff. It sucks to see an academy guy go, who especially had as much promise as he did, but you got to cut your losses sometimes and be done with it, because it's worse for the player and worse for the team if he just stays here and goes on the Philippe Chabi continuous loan cycle. Like, get out there and see the world and maybe grow up a bit, and maybe you can figure it out.
Well, I'm just looking at his stats here from a few seasons. So he had his most appearances professionally for Sporting, getting 10. He got loaned out to Estoril, played 4, and then never played again. And then last year was loaned out to AZ Alkmaar, but spent most of the time with the under-21s. 14 appearances in the under-21s. Only 1 appearance for
the main team.
Wow. So only 50 appearances.
I feel like
Udinese
Udinese is probably a downgrade from AZ Alkmaar, which is, that's a Conference League team, right?
Yeah, fair.
Udinese recently has not been.
No.
So I mean, I guess it's a downgrade, but still.
But a more competitive league.
Yeah, it's still a decent level.
Oh yeah, it's a better league for sure, but the team itself is a downgrade.
Yeah.
I just think when he first made his debut in the Champions League, and he was pretty good, and it's just, I don't know, it felt like they could have been something much more than it was. And I feel like you could say that a lot about a lot of former Sporting youngsters.
Especially this spot's been open. I mean, the spot's still open.
It's still there. It's still there for
it's still
taking,
there
realistically.
Yeah.
It's still until like one of like Fresneda or somebody decides this is mine now, like, or if that even it's open.
Technically, it's Jenny's right now. It's Jenny's to lose, but you can grab it from him, I'd say.
Yeah, like it's still open. It's still there.
And Jenny can also move up, also if.
Yeah, that's true too.
The thing is, the B team have lost quite a lot. So Nazinho left. Chico Lambo was released on a free. Thiago Ferreira joined Estrella.
Yeah.
The other Porto kid that went to
They made a signing
Guimarães.
up from Academic of
Marco
Viseu the other day. I think a center back from Academic of Viseu.
Oh, did they?
My God.
19-year-old. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It seems like they're, I don't want to say giving up, but I feel like they're not wasting time with players they don't see making that jump to the first team. And I feel like a lot of them have had that chance, but just, for one reason or another, just not showing it. But oh well. So there is one more question about transfers and stuff I want to ask you boys, and that is something that I tweeted the other day, and of course is on topic with Cedric and Nani everything. Of course, Nani is now removed from this list, but these are some former Sporting players who are free agents: Cedric, Rui Patricio, Miguel Veloso, and Adrian. Are you bringing any of them home, even for like a bench role? Can any of them start, do you think? Danny, I'll start with you.
Honestly, the only person I would have taken was Cedric, but that's only if Ishgayu leaves. Other than that,
Well, it's like you're basically that's a lateral move at best. Like best case scenario, that's a lateral transfer.
It's a veteran presence. That's all. That's the only reason why I would want to bring him in.
I mean, former European champion.
European champion, and he's played at a much higher level than Ishgayu. Ishgayu played for the Arsenalistas of Portugal, but Cedric has actually played for the Arsenal. You know what I mean? So, but none of these guys really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Danny on that. Like, I liked all the, these are the guys I grew up with. And, even with nostalgia clouding my judgment, I just still wouldn't take any of them, I don't think.
Miguel Veloso.
Maybe Miguel Veloso, but probably not. We don't really need him.
Even if I wanted to find one of these guys, really, there's real place for them.
Richard, I don't know what's happened, but your mic has gone a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little bit muffled. You might have just been blocked.
How about now?
You're good.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Even if I wanted to sign one of these guys, there's no real place for them in this team.
Miguel Veloso would be signing to be
the
new Luis Neto coach midfielder.
He'd be the fifth choice midfielder.
Yeah, he'd be the fifth or sixth choice
behind Mateo.
Working on his coaching badges on the side.
I mean, to be fair, he was running the midfield for Hellas Verona as recently as 6 months ago.
As recently as this year.
So I mean, he could still probably contribute a bit, but I mean, we would only be asking him to be the fifth midfielder at best,
Yeah, because you look at the midfield, it's Hulman, Morita, Braganza, Matheus Fernandes, and then probably him, I guess. Because Asugo's probably gone or going out on loan. So, yeah, he's fifth choice. Patricio's washed and has been washed for probably 4 or 5 years.
Patricio's going to Olympiacos, bro.
He's going for George Mendes.
I've never seen a more Olympiacos signing in my life.
That's I can honestly say that about
for the last
Olympiacos
signing.
Adrian actually is not
washed.
good enough anymore for Olympiacos. So otherwise he would have done it.
That's true too.
Adrian's even I like Adrian. He's washed. Cedric. There's a reason you don't have a team. You're the guy who probably should. Out of all the guys on the list, you're the youngest guy on the list, and you should have a team, and you don't. So that speaks volumes already. Yeah, I don't think I bring any of these guys home. Sorry, boys. I did see the Rafael Leal comments that he would like to come back to Sporting. I thought that was kind of hilarious, but I was like, whatever. I really don't care.
Yeah,
that's not anytime soon.
For me, I'm going to be a bit controversial. Miguel Veloso, I think, definitely, I'd say for a locker room presence, I think would be good. If Israel leaves, I don't mind Rui Patricio as a backup. I know there's been some history there.
As a backup.
Samuel Norris.
No, I'm with it too. We should embrace. At the end of the day, he's a legend of the club. We need to repair that burnt bridge that he made. And just
why do we gotta repair it?
You could argue out of all of the ones who rescinded, he did it in the worst way and has shown the least remorse about it.
Yeah, everybody else has kind of walked back and been I probably could have. We probably could have done that, handled that a bit better.
Yeah.
Even if we wanted to leave, we maybe could have just handled that situation a bit more maturely. Yeah, he was the senior guy who was no, I have no apologies.
Might have been the first one to rescind.
I think he was the first one to put that statement out, yeah. Even
We
We got, a lot of,
Rafael,
we got a lot of repairing to do.
Yeah, even Rafael Leao, who wasn't even there, was like, yeah, I could have handled that better, and like I would like to go back to the team. I'm like, all right, like I get it too. You were an 18-year-old dumb kid.
Yeah, no,
Like,
people
stupid
just gave him
decision.
papers and said sign this. I bet.
Yeah, like he was also like he doesn't he's 18, he doesn't really know better. He's like, okay, like sure, they're saying this is
Also,
gonna
he
be good for
trusted
my
his
career.
father too.
Yeah, and it was his dad. Yeah, like you're gonna trust your like if it was my dad, I'd probably take my dad's advice.
Yeah.
Like he's a pretty trustworthy guy. I have a good relationship with him. But yeah, like like
Your dad
if it was my dad, I'd probably be like, okay, sure,
Yeah,
Pops. Like he was an 18-year-old kid, didn't really know better. Like probably should have had a bit better judgment anyways. But like
I just love the explanation of like, my dad's a nice guy. Like,
I don't got daddy issues, so yeah,
Mr. Naz,
why not?
Mr. Naz, a decent dude, gives me food, gives me shelter, I'm not gonna complain.
Respect.
Decent guy.
but this is my thinking of it. In a roundabout way, without them guys doing what they did, we still might not be champions if those guys decided to stay. Rupert should probably still be the number one because we wouldn't be bringing in like Ruben Amorim, bringing in every guy they signed. Without them leaving, I know they left in such a bad way, but it was their impact. We got better without them. Rui Patricio won a European, the Conference League. Fair enough.
Off
But
the
we
bench,
won.
though. He was on the bench.
Yeah.
I thought he was a
Exactly.
starter for Roma that year when they won.
No. Oh, sorry. You're right. You're right.
Obviously
You're
he
right.
was-
My bad.
yeah.
My bad. For some reason,
But
I
I
thought
just-
they won it this year. My bad.
No.
When you look at all the players I've left, besides Rafael Leao, who has really been like
Who was better
great?
off?
So
Exactly.
wait, can I real quick, Sam? So what you're saying is the attack on Elk shit in 2018 was the best thing that happened to sport.
Get out of here! Go away! Leave. Shut up.
In a roundabout way. Yeah.
The butterfly effect.
Exactly. Think about it. If that happens, if that doesn't happen,
I hear you.
is Bruno
What
Carvalho still the
happens?
president?
They probably
No
run it back
disrespect.
next year. Like, yeah.
Would Ruben Amorim ever come in under Bruno Carvalho? I don't think so. Is he taking a punt on a manager with 10 games experience?
Doubt.
Facts.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Obviously, it was a shit event that happened, but
But then would we have ever been blessed with Kaiser Ball? We'll never know.
would we have ever signed
Definitely not.
Paulinho? These are the things that would.
Oh, Paulinho. Yeah, it's funny though, because you're right. Out of all the guys who like up and left, none of them outside of Rafael Leao were ever better off.
You could maybe make an argument for Patricio with the Conference League, but even still, I would maybe say no.
Like
He was a
Johnson,
mediocre
you don't even
player at
hear about him
Wolves.
anymore. Like,
Wolves fans didn't really love
Yeah.
Patricio. Like he wasn't bad, he wasn't great. And then Roma okay. Like I said, he won the Conference League, but his last season, I remember he was not very good.
I watched a lot of Roma.
Plus,
It was bad.
Patricio, it's not like even Patricio left Sporting to go to Roma. He went to Wolves first, and
Exactly.
Yeah, and then Roma.
it's not like Wolves did anything. They were okay. I
Like
guess.
Podence is back in Olympiacos or something, isn't he? Like he had
Yeah.
that
It was Jelson.
Wolves.
Jelson
Jelson's at
Martins
Wolves.
went back.
Yeah,
William
like all
Carlos
these
stayed
guys.
his
But they won-
entire
they won
career
the-
at
they won-
Betis.
Yeah, outside of I guess kind of William and to the more extent Rafael Leao, all those guys are way worse off.
Well, no, because technically, by that same logic, I mean, Jelson won the Conference League as well this season. Vince technically won it too. I mean, Chauvin technically won it. So,
Actually,
But I know what you mean, though.
He didn't play a
He didn't
single
play a
game.
single
He wasn't
minute.
registered for the Conference
I seen him with the medal, bro. I don't think it matters. I seen
It's
him
like Rafael
celebrating.
Camacho winning the Champions League.
You know, it's exactly that, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly
But yeah,
that.
it's just like none of those guys really ended up better off because of that
No, they
move. It's
didn't.
funny to think outside of maybe like two guys.
William Carvalho didn't even change his fucking jersey color, bro. Like,
He
guy
just
was
changed
flirting with
the
Arsenal.
orientation. He just changed the orientation of the stripes. That was it.
and he just slightly changed the language. He didn't even change it all that much.
yeah,
He was
moved next
flirting with
door.
Arsenal for all these years and thought, yeah, now is my.
It was like going. It was like going from a Mexican restaurant to a Spanish restaurant. Like he was going from tacos to tapas. That's literally it.
The one guy who did much better was, of course, Ruben Ribeiro, man.
Oh,
I don't know where he's right now.
I forgot about that.
I couldn't tell you what club he's at right now. Probably
I
somewhere
couldn't
in
tell
the
you. I
top
couldn't tell you what club he signed for. This one guy, I remember all the clubs that guy signed for except.
I think he was at Sharps either last season, the season before. I could be.
He was in
think
Portugal
it was-
last season because I remember seeing him in one of in the group chats. I was like, "Yo, that fuck Ruben Ribeiro was on the pitch." I was like, "What?"
It was definitely Shabs, I think. Yeah.
I think it was Shavs because Chris or Danny or someone was like, "Yo, that piece of crap is on the field." I'm like, "Who's on the field?" I'm like, "Man, I forgot he existed. I thought he was retired." Because he was like 30 when he played for Sport. He was already old and like
Dude, my favorite
when he joined us.
my favorite thing to do for multiple years in a row was to, in the years after Alcachet, like his lawsuit was like the last one to be resolved, and I don't think it was resolved until like 2022 or 3.
Yeah,
And at the bottom of like every like RNC or like financial report, like in like the notes at the bottom, it would always be mentioned like the outstanding case against Ruben Ribeiro.
every
Every
like,
time because they had to
financial
make note
report.
of it because it was just like an outstanding like
Because it was a discrepancy. It was a discrepancy in the
and it
finances.
could generate income. And it was like, this is so funny. So I never forgot about him, and he spent like a year or two on unemployed. Then he went and signed for that like club in UAE, played a year or two there. Then he came back, played a year at Shavs, right?
I think it was Shavs.
He's at least in like 2 or 3 clubs since he's come back.
And I wonder where he's set to play this season. Hopefully in the Premier League.
He's still in Shavs.
He is still at Shavs, yeah.
He went to Turkey, Hatayspor.
Oh, that's right.
Before then it was
Hatayspor. He went to Al Ain in so he went from Sporting to Al Ain in the UAE. Gil Vicente for like a year, then Hatayspor for a couple years, and then he's back in Shavs for last year and this season. It looks like crazy. What a journey.
Let's end on a controversial, very controversial topic.
Oh, I know what this is.
Love it.
Yes, guy. I was hoping we would talk about this. This was
Chris,
so funny.
Does that home kit look familiar to you?
No, that looks like a 1-for-1.
Wait, that looks just like the limited edition homage to Victor Francisco Stromp. Yeah, it's crazy because like I could have sworn that was like a limited edition.
To be fair, their shirt sponsor looks a lot better than Botano on that kit. It looks a lot cleaner.
Can I just say that away kit?
That's such a nice kit. That's a really nice.
That
kit.
is the Atletico Madrid away kit.
That's the Atletico Madrid like third kit or away kit. Yeah.
Yeah. But
that was so funny.
A lot of controversy for this one. Sporting did make an official complaint tonight, so we hear.
And they actually pulled it. I don't know if
they pulled their.
They deleted all the tweets involving it, and they have been wearing last season's kits in their preseason games.
Yeah.
Their first official game is this weekend. I want to see what they wear, bro. I'm actually like gonna check to see if they wore it or not.
I feel like it's gonna be the white kit.
The white.
Yeah. Well, I'll be locked in. Check
check. Chris is gonna be.
I'll be locked in to see who last season's 10th place finisher, what kit they wear this season.
Yeah.
They haven't revealed the third kit yet, right?
I believe they're playing Shakhtar, so it's a tough challenge.
Yeah, but no third kit. We're using the Tastas as the away kit this year.
Yeah.
Well, we have a third kit that leaked this week, allegedly.
Oh yeah, the
this
orange,
weird. It's like this. It's like this color, but it's all weird, like a weird.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Like something you'd like find in a cave.
Someone said there's kind of a 7 like on the weird print, so like it's an homage to Figo or Ronaldo. I'm like, stop.
Oh no.
I'm like, knock it off.
Stealth CR7 kit.
Knock it off.
How long is this contract with Nike? Isn't this the last year, or there's one more?
No, last year was the last year.
We renewed it for 3 more years. So another 2 years after this.
Because they made so much money there.
I really wish we got. I really wish.
Yeah, they said that training kit broke. Dude, I understand that they're definitely like making more money off the kits. The sales are definitely up. I'm not doubting that. And they have like a better distribution network as well now for sure. They have multiple, storefronts, etc. But like, I'd love like we got some of the home kit numbers like in the RNC at the end of the season on the Ronaldo third kit to like actually back this up. Like, Here's the sales last year. It was like 7. They're
Comparable this year.
They just said, and there's an article, or Record is the only place that reported this. The new training kit, that does kind of look like a 7.
Yeah.
This
The
is
new
the,
training
kit.
kit, which, I mean, drew mixed reviews as well.
It's a training kit, so
Yeah.
I'll be real, it's ugly.
Is it the lime green one you guys are talking about, or
They
the black
said-
with the white sleeves?
the black with the white.
The black and gold
talking-
with
Or the gold or whatever. Okay, got you.
No, I'm talking
This-
the pixelated Minecraft one.
Oh,
the,
that
the
one.
pre-match
Yeah,
one.
That's what
looks
I'm
like a
talking
Minecraft creeper.
I was
I'm
talking
not
about-
talking
I
about
thought
that.
you meant
That's like
this
the
one,
that's like the that's like the training kit. I guess this is like the pre-match warm-up top.
Okay.
Yes, I know.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
They
Yeah,
said that one broke the sales record, but there's no numbers attached to it.
They just said it broke a sales record.
They just said it broke the sales, and I was trying to find like any additional details.
Nothing.
Could not find anything. So I'm like, did this break the record?
Also, like how big?
What
How
was the
big is that?
record before?
How like that number couldn't have been that big to begin
And
with.
it's like it's been out for like,
It's a training kit.
dude. I mean, at this point, it had been out for like 3-4 days, and I was like,
yeah, it's nothing.
dude, were
Yeah.
people like really breaking down the doors to buy this? I mean, that's
Seems a little
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't know.
I
I've
reckon
not
it's
even
just
seen
they
it once
sold
on the
out.
timeline.
Or it's like the record for the first 3 days. I don't know, man. There was like no
This
information.
yeah, it
Oh,
looks
this
like a
one. Yeah,
Minecraft.
yeah.
It looks like a
Yeah.
Minecraft creeper, like a tree or something. It's
Low key looks like a fucking picnic. Picnic.
this
mat,
looks like you're going. This looks like something you'd wear in at
From a
war.
distance, like not zoomed in, like from this far, it looks like TV static kind of.
Yeah.
The old
Yeah.
TV stat. Honestly, this looks like something you'd wear at war.
If you zoom in, you can see that there's like Nike logos in the pattern, which is slightly
Oh,
cool.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can kind of see it. Yeah,
It's
I can see it
kind
right
of
now.
cool,
I like it.
but
I see it there.
yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
And one
yeah.
on
So I'd love to
Middle
see any metrics to back up the claim that this was a record seller. Is
Yeah.
I will say
Again,
this jacket is fire. I do
That's
like
actually
it.
cool.
That's beauty.
the double
also-
pocket's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's cool, though.
The prices of their just like leisure wear are ridiculous. It is
That's partly
crazy.
why they're making so much too. Is just because everything with Nike is like $20 more expensive than every other kit supplier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just-
true.
Like you look at the cost of
Incredibly.
anything on Nike, and then you go to like Adidas, and it's like a $10, $15,
Or even like
$20
macro, the
difference.
secondary
Crazy.
brands. Adidas and Nike tend to be roughly the same, but the secondary brands.
Macro and Umbro
yeah.
is really good. I like
Yeah.
Kappa's.
Kappa.
I've liked a lot of Kappa's stuff.
Speaking
Um,
each studio with the jersey of the
They're
of the
went
year.
hard this year.
To the 245 people listening, first off, we appreciate you. Second off, if any of you guys are in Portugal and know where the fuck I can find that, because I've been looking online.
It's sold
like
out in
crazy
Liga Portugal
out.
shop.
already.
Yeah,
'Cause I think they just released it last Friday.
yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's
I've
such
been
a
looking for that
nice
too.
get. Yeah, I just as nice as it is to get like the primary brands. I would prefer an Umbro. I would prefer a Macro just because we get so much more customization, and realistically, like it's a couple $100,000 difference, like in sales. Like
Do you know what's strange is how desensitized I've come towards the sporting prices. That when I went to Lisbon with my girlfriend in June, we were in Loja Verde, and she picked up one of like the I think it was like the only Lions top, and she was like,
oh,
"Is
that's
this
stupid top.
And she was like, checks price, €60. Like,
And you're like, yeah.
Straight back.
Ridiculous.
It is crazy.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, I would have thought it would have been 80. Good deal.
good deal. You got was that on sale? Crazy sale at Loja Verde. Holy.
One other thing we speak about before we end it is this number for €225. This could be yours. Well, it's sold out now.
I think it's sold out in like 5
It's sold
minutes. I
out.
wonder how many they even had. Maybe like 20, 30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
300. They probably just had
50,
369.
Well, they only had one size apparently, from what it looks like.
Oh,
It's just
really?
large.
What
So,
about the Sebastian Kowach like $40 poster or whatever the hell it was?
Also, bro couldn't have played just one more game.
No, he knew what he was doing.
What kind of
I-
fucking number is that, bro?
knew-
I think
He
it's
knew what
good
he was
like-
doing.
I think it's good like that.
Play a Super Tasa game and fuck off already. Like, what is
Nah,
this?
you know what? He knew what he was doing. I respect
Yeah.
it.
That's crazy.
I respect it.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but
Predictions for Super Tasa or anything, or is there anything else we're missing, Sam?
I don't believe so. I think that's the next and final thing, the predictions. But
Let's pull up
Richard,
the
since
league
you bring it up, Richard, you can.
Well,
you can start.
let me as the reigning and defending predictions champion of all things Alvalade in these parts. We play Portugal on Saturday for the Supertaça. I predict us to win, and I predict us to win. 2-1. I'm going to put down. 2-1. And dare I say the goal scorers will probably be Jokeres ×2. We're going bold. Psycho behavior. That's my Supertaça predictions.
Nice. I guess
I also reserved the right to change this up until game time.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Which is what we've all done before.
Lock it in, baby.
Most times I do, but there's been a couple times where I've hedged on game time. I'm like, fuck, I should have kept it what it was.
This was the poster, €29 for.
Yeah, it's a cool poster, but I'm not paying 30 euros for it.
And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, brother. It is not arriving in a state that you're gonna want it after transatlantic jersey.
Facts.
No.
That shit is not getting
that shit's
folded,
gonna be
bro.
crumpled
That shit
up.
is not
It's gonna be
staying straight.
ripped, like
€30
Unless you
shipping
could-
as well.
unless you could get it already
Yeah.
framed. No shot is that
Nah,
coming in
you're
decent
done
condition.
for it, bro.
It's Jover.
I'm not
I
gonna
also
lie.
don't understand.
Yeah.
What did
Well
they do
done.
with the A there? Anyway, sorry.
They like made it wider.
Like, why are they?
Yeah.
What's the point of that? Like,
They made it the size of his head.
like
Yeah, like what was?
Why?
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Just honestly, if you're that worried about like just fix your
I don't know why they
up
did
your
that.
font size and fix your kerning. That's all you need to do. Just fix your spacing if you're that worried about symmetry.
Graphic design is my passion there a little bit.
Oh, God, just knock it off.
Other
Other than that, it's a nice poster, but yeah.
I think without Nuno Santos, we might struggle. I think Mateus
Oh.
Reis is still suspended. Is he still suspended? I think he might be. I
I
think
don't
he
think
could.
so.
I believe
Yeah.
it's Page and St. Just.
Yeah, so I
Pretty sure
don't
it's
know
also
who's going to be at left back.
This
So
guy of
for that, unless he does
Giovanni
the at
Kenda.
left back again,
Yeah.
yeah, could be.
yeah, good.
But-
be.
I think we might unfortunately take an L on this one, boys. I think, I reckon it will go to penalties. We'll lose on penalties.
Hell no.
Man.
You think
That's
Vlad the
just
Impaler's got all the Porto penalties? Do you think he's been researching them and he has like all of them on like a water bottle or something? Like
I hope so.
a heat map of their last 10 pens and the
If that happens, that's caught on camera. The moaning we're going to hear from the Porto fans and their directors about.
Wait, I
cheating.
don't know if I've ever said this on the air because it really isn't even relevant. But you know how I don't know if anyone remembers after Diogo Costa saved the 3 penalties in the Slovenia game.
Yeah, which
he
was
said-
a psycho performance.
He said that he
by the
didn't
way.
take any notes or do any research. He just trusted his gut, right? No way that they even had the data to do that research on like
Yeah,
Maribor and like Hataya Sport players, Alanya Sport players. Bro trusted his instinct because that's the only option he had, dude.
yeah.
And it
I don't
worked
know.
great. But there is data on the Porto players. So research up, Vlad.
I mean, Canada Soccer's got some drones if they need to borrow them. We're not going to be using them anytime soon. We're not going to be using them anytime soon. So
Yeah,
if they need a
drones
drone
for
or two, we
sale.
can send them. If you see a mysterious drone on eBay, let us know. We might need that for an investigation.
Danny, what about you? Your prediction?
No, I didn't even give a prediction. I'm gonna go 3-2 Sporting win in overtime.
Ooh, chaotic friggin' pick from you.
I'm assuming there is overtime and not straight to pens.
I don't actually
I don't
know.
I think
Copa
it goes-
America has now like jammed my mind. I have no idea how it
Yeah,
works.
I have no idea, 'cause
I
everyone
wouldn't
does
be.
it
I
differently
actually
now.
wouldn't be shocked if it went straight to pens.
It went straight to pens.
So
I think
I'm
it
gonna
might.
go 3-2 with a late winner then.
Yeah, because everybody's doing it differently now. Where like some people are like, no, we're
Mhm.
skipping overtime, which is whatever, and some are like, no, we're doing overtime. Then, but like, you don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Let me just also, I can confirm it is Mateusz that got the red or has accumulations of yellows or whatever it is, so he will not be.
Oh, so he won't play then. Okay.
So we will be seeing Ignacio at left wing back again. Let me just throw that out there because it was against Porto last season.
Oh yeah, we got cooked.
I am going to agree with Chris. We are scoring 3, and Porto's not scoring any. And Vitor Bruno is going to get the slapping that he deserves as a traitor. I mean, by all means, let the turmoil start at Porto.
Backstabber.
I'm fine with that. I think they'll be successful under AVB. Let me throw that out there. But it's not going to be anytime soon. And it's going to be
did they sell 30% of their SAD today?
Did they?
I don't know.
I saw like one little snippet.
They're low-key becoming us, though. Like, I see the same sort of things happening when Varandas took over to when
Here's the thing. They're in a much worse financial spot.
Way worse.
Somehow.
Think about how the media was chirping about the state that Bruno left the club in.
Yeah.
It's obscene. It's actually obscene.
Yeah.
It's crazy how.
But because one guy's an old guy and he's been there for 30 years, they're going to protect his.
He left them in a million times worse of a spot, bro.
Love it. They had to sack their manager because they couldn't afford him anymore just to appoint the assistant manager. So how much is really going to change there?
Yeah.
In terms of tactically. The fucking old manager's son, which is probably their best player, doesn't want to play under him.
Doesn't want to play for the team.
The only thing that would have made. Remember how there was like that 2-week window where he had like his buyout clause was like.
Man, I wish we had triggered that just for the.
Bro, I wish somebody triggered that. Why didn't we trigger that, bro?
The money we're spending on
Nadis or whatever his name is.
Or whatever the hell we're talking about. I wish we had just been like, nah, you know what? We have the chance to do something really fun.
Facts.
You're going to be out on Varandas had the opportunity to do the funniest thing.
That would have been really funny. But then we would have actually had to buy him for like 15 million.
Still,
yeah. At least we would have had a player in the Stella Sound. So
True. Well, we 2 players. I mean.
True.
Sorry, forwards.
We had
attacking option. Who actually would have seen the field too.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I think that's it, unless you guys need to give anything else to.
No.
Nothing.
Cool. We'll wrap up then. Thank you all for watching. Before you go, make sure you follow my co-host. First of all, follow Danny there. You can follow Richard there. Follow myself there. And you can also follow Chris there. But of course, most importantly, make sure you follow all things Alvalade, all social media and podcast platforms. Thank you all for watching. We shall see you hopefully next week when we are the Supertasta champions. Other than that, see you next time. Peace.